Hello everyone, this is Navaal Chocolate, and I'm going to be showing you some Minecraft build hacks. First things first, I think that this might be a glitch, but if you put some rails in a circle and then remove the rest, it still says bent, and that kind of looks like a pickaxe and like an axe or a hoe next to it and just some tools in general. And to represent that, I have put some pickaxes on the walls, but I guess you could use this for decorating the floors of like an armory of sorts. Moving on, if you just push some armor stands, it can look like some cool decorations anywhere really, if you just push some armor stands into the right positions. Also, with that, on that same topic, if you push a block into an armor stand wearing a chainmail hat, it looks kind of like a keyboard for a computer with a stone button for the mouse and a painting for the computer screen. It really does look like a laptop or computer of sorts. If you use a backwards facing loom, it can look like an empty bookshelf, and if you put a lectern with a carpet on it, with a book on it as well, it can kind of look like the books have fallen out of the shelves. If you put cocoa beans on like a tropical tree or like a palm tree like I've done here, it kind of looks like coconuts that are on the tree. And since the introduction of 1.14, with the put out version of campfires, this is a very good bridge block, but I have also put some buttons on the top for detail and some string for a railing. But with the same topic of the bridge and a campfire, you can do a lot more with it. If you put the same campfires next to some cobblestone walls instead of maybe string, and put some levers on top facing towards each other, they make a really cool arch pattern. And you can also put some maybe buttons or stone pressure plates here to make the ends. And with the cobblestone walls, the iron bars, the lily pads, and the buttons, they can look like some cool stones and decorations in your water. With any blank wall in your house, you can put some shells on there and add some bits and bobs just to add more detail. Here are some that I like to use, mostly the bell, just to annoy people. But here are some plant decoration designs that you can put inside your house as well. A jungle sapling with a jungle leaf, an acacia sapling with a wet sponge. It could also be a dry sponge, but I used a wet sponge because it's kind of darker in color. An acacia sapling with a jungle leaf, an oak sapling with an oak leaf, and a dead bush with an oak leaf. Here are their potted plant variants as well, if you can put it on your desk maybe, if you have one. I have to admit, this isn't really a build hack, but I think a sweet berry bush kind of looks like a mini Christmas tree, with the berries being the ornaments, of course. Moving on from that, most people use rails to look like they're tying down logs, and I agree that does look like it, but you can also use barrels mixed in with the logs, and the bearings of the barrels look like they're tied down as well. This is the cage most people use with, their iron bars, and it is a pretty good cage. But if you can get your hands on it, if you're making something in creative, a monster spawner cage can also look more detailed than these. Also, the skull kind of looks like a lock and the keypads on there. However, if you do choose to do it, it does lose its functionality because you can't actually get inside it like you can with these. But it does look cool, and it works in all variants of sizes. Another cool one is if you're decorating the outside of your house with some walls or fences, you can put some buttons on them to just sort of make it pop and decorate them. You can also use some levers on the outside facing towards each other for a little gateway entrance. Now, some might disagree with me on this one, but I think a brewing stand kind of looks like a milkshake maker or a drink maker, especially with some strawberry milkshakes. Anyway, the dried kelp block with a stone button on it kind of looks like a wrapped up present with the stripes along its sides and the little button being like a little bow tie. Also, a disactivated redstone torch kind of looks like a match. I'm not exactly sure what you could do with this, but it does kind of look like a match. And finally, if you use a grindstone, some grindstones, and a skeleton skull, or whatever you really want to use, I prefer the skeleton skull, and put some TNT on top, it can look like it's throwing and yeeting TNT everywhere. But with that, this has been Navaal Chocolate, and goodbye, y'all.